Hey, what's up, you guys? The Dark here, back with another video, and today we're going to take a look at the Marvel Legends series, Spider-Man Brand New Day, Spider-Man. Before we get started, I ask guys if you feel so inclined to please like and subscribe. It really does help my channel and is absolutely free. Taking the packaging over here is pretty much the same thing that we've seen with all the other single release Marvel Legends figures. It's got that classic, regular box kind of style. Marvel Legends series Spider-Man Brand New Day with the nice New York landscape in the background. I'm loving the marketing materials with this movie over here. You got all the webbing going along throughout there. It's a nice dark blue. 4+ Marvel Legends series, warning, Spider-Man, Hasbro. And the back you got the new Spider-Man logo with a yellow kind of background going on there. At the side you got the Window Continue Along Marvel Legends series Spider-Man. You got a profile of Spider-Man right there, so that's pretty cool. At the other side you got another profile of Spider-Man, Marvel Legends series, nothing much at the top there. And then at the back, you do have a nice big picture of Spider-Man with the New York landscape. You got a bit of a bio there. If you want to read it, you can go and pause it now. You got a bunch of other legalese, warnings, and such at the bottom over here. At the top, you got the Spider-Man logo, and the bottom, you got a bunch of other legalese along with the UPC code. All right, so Spider-Man Brand New Day. I haven't really looked too much into this, movie. At the time of this recording, it has not come out yet, but I am very excited for it. As of all the promotional stuff that I've seen so far for this film, I think it's looking like the perfect kind of Spider-Man movie. It really does remind me not only of the original like Raimi films, but also of the PlayStation video game Spider-Man, which I think is a really good interpretation of Spider-Man. One of the things I never really liked about the Tom Holland Spider-Man was the fact that, he always had someone to rely on, whether that be, Doctor Strange or, Iron Man. There's the whole like Iron Boy Jr. kind of aspect that people didn't really like about the character. And, I was kind of in agreement with that, but, it was like him in his younger years, the original or the older trilogy, that being Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home. He was in his high school years, and so, he was more of a kid. He had all the adults to look, up to, and, if he ever was ever in like a problem or situation where he needed the extra help, he had that guidance with those Marvel characters. But here I feel like what we're starting to get is a more like adult Spider-Man, not adult as in anything inappropriate or anything, but at least a like an aspect of Spider-Man where he's kind of like deciding for himself, and he has to deal with the problems on his own. And yeah, I don't really want to go too much more into it because I am very excited for the movie, and I don't really want to know too much about the movie. There's already been so much that has been put out online with the Hulk and Punisher, the Hand. Like, there's so much going on with this movie. I'm just so excited, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. As for accessories over here, we can see that the figure does come with 3 pairs of hands in total, 2 fisted hands along with 2 whipping hands and 2 wall curling hands slash kind of like sprawled out hands. And then it comes with 2 web effects. Now, these web effects are kind of odd. I don't think I've ever seen them before, but they have these like little groove pieces that are on the back side of it. And I'm guessing it's supposed to be, attaching to someone or to the floor or something like that. I honestly don't know. If you guys know, please do let me know in the comments below. Taking out the figure itself over here, and yeah, there is a bit of an elephant in the room when it comes to this figure. A lot of people are complaining, that it is very similar to this original No Way Home Spider-Man final swingsuit figure. And I did take a look at this figure on my channel back when it came out. Please do go and check it out after this video. But yeah, it is very similar. And I remember, when I did the review for this figure over here, I did say, like, yeah, if they're probably going to use this suit again, I would not be surprised if they do use the same body book. And yeah, they did over here. And you can see there is some differences. The torso, I think, is being one of them. And then obviously the back over here too, you can see the logos are slightly different. But otherwise you can tell that the colors are a little bit different, along with the more, darker blue on the new figure as opposed to the old brighter red and blue. And I don't know, I kind of like this approach here a little bit. I think it's pretty cool. Anyway, we'll get more into it as we go along. There is also an articulation part to this that is a bit different when it comes to the head. But yeah, we'll take a look at that in the articulation segment. As for the figure itself over here, You know, the head sculpt, it is the exact same thing basically to that final swimsuit Spider-Man, and I don't mind it. I think it looks really good. I think it works for, you know, this new Spider-Man look. I do know that the profile in the new movie, you know, has his nose out a little bit more because I don't think they're using like a face shield anymore for the mask to make it look, you know, super clean. It looks more like that there is, you know, someone underneath this mask, and you know, I think it works. I don't know. Like maybe we could have gotten a new kind of head over here, but you know, for what it is, I think it works. And I think the fact that we're actually getting all the different webbing in this, and especially raised at that too, is really nice. But yeah, you do have the new Spider-Man logo over here, and as I said, it is different to this original one. This original one is a little bit too small. And I remember when I did the review for this, I did say that I wanted it to be a bit bigger. So I'm glad over here that it is a bit bigger as well too. We got the back over here too with the new logo. And yeah, it looks really nice. And that's a bit of extra plastic there. But yeah, really, really cool. I really like, you know, the red on this. And the blue, yeah, it is a little bit dark, but I think for this, I think it works. I personally don't mind it. I think the blue looks nice in this figure, in my opinion. But yeah, all the raised webbing going along, the different basketball texture, along with the flat blue is nice as well too. Legs don't really have much going on over here, but yeah, calves with the raised webbing as well. Really, really cool. And yeah, it is very similar, but I think it's pretty cool. And you get two pegels at the bottom of the feet over there. All right, so as for articulation, so what I was going to say is that with this original Spider-Man over here, it doesn't really want to come out there, but you can see that it is like a ball peg in the sense that you have the ability to move it around really nicely, but it doesn't really have the ability to look up all that much. With this new figure over here, it is a lot easier to pull out, but you can see that it doesn't no longer have that ball joint kind of going on. I mean, there's the ball joint there, but not the ball, you know, peg going into the neck. And so it's just a forward and back motion. Now, with this, there is the issue where you can't really tilt side to side, but there is a lot of range looking down. And look at that range looking up there. Just to compare to this original one over here, look at that. I think it actually kind of looks a little bit similar. Maybe I screwed it up a bit, but you can tell. Yeah, you see how the eyes are there. The eyes are over there. It's almost looking up like 90 degrees there. That's really nice. And definitely when you're getting him into certain shots where you're wanting him to be like swinging and, you know, getting his legs up and whatever, that will come in handy. But anyway, that's just the one major difference I find with this figure over here. In terms of other articulation, you got the arm movement in here. It's got a bit of a butterfly joint, so you can move in about that much. You can move back around there. You can go up about there. You can go down, forward, back, bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows, which move in about there. And yeah, you can even see in the joints over here, it does match with how the blue and the red are separated, so that's really good. You do have a hand swivel and a hinge, which is really nice. All of them are up and down hinges for these hands. There's no side to side. You do have a diaphragm joint over here on a ball peg, so this moves around really nicely, and you can get some nice unique Spider-Man poses with it, which is great. And he does have an ab crunch in the waist over here, so you can move down around there and back around that. So yeah, really nice. And you can get some great range in there. You do have some leg articulation here, so it is a drop down, you know, joint. So you can move it down like that and then kick it up about there. And then you can kick back and on an angle. And then you can do the splits. If you want to move them both like that, you can do the splits around there, which I think is pretty good. He does have a thigh swivel in there. He has a double jointed knee, which goes in about there. And he does have some ankle articulation, which is down, up, and a bit of pivot. As for comparison today, I do have the new Brand New Day Spider-Man next to the final swingsuit Spider-Man from No Way Home. And again, I do think that the new colors works. The red is, you know, a little bit darker in comparison to this one, so I think that makes it look less toyetic and, you know, more realistic, so I'm a fan of that. And yeah, the blue is a little bit dark, but maybe if they found an in-between between these two, I think it would have been the ideal color. But otherwise, I'm a big fan of how the logo is much bigger and, you know, the fact that it looks more realistic. If you did want to see this Spider-Man with some Peter Parker heads on over here, this is the final swingsuit head, and you can see, yeah, That looks pretty good. I think it still works. But when it comes to this other head over here, this one I kind of prefer because he's got the bit of a longer hair. And this is from the Infinity War 2-pack with Iron Spider and Iron Man. You can see that head does sit a little bit high on there. So I don't know if that one will work, but yeah. Then we have Spider-Man next to the two other stars of the show, Punisher and the Hulk. This Punisher is from the Born Again Daredevil series. The Hulk is from an original Endgame build-to-figure wave, and I don't think I'm going to be upgrading it with the new Hulk. I do think that that one looks a little too inaccurate for me personally, but I'm just fine with this Hulk over here, and yeah, I think he looks really good next to them. He is getting older in age, so I think the height difference between him and Punisher is pretty good, and with Hulk, it's great, and yeah, it makes a great mix over here. All right, so final thoughts on this brand new day Spider-Man figure. I'm a little bit torn with this one over here. It is a great release on its own. If you didn't have any Marvel Legends whatsoever and you want to start building out your MCU collection, this is a fantastic release for a classic Spider-Man figure. Really cool stuff over here. You got all the pairs of hands that you need. Got a couple web effects, although I don't really know what you'd end up using them for. But like in itself, I do think I really like this figure. Like originally with the No Way Home final swing suit, and I think that it's awesome that we get it in another release over here. But again, I don't know if this is really a worthy kind of upgrade to that final swingsuit Spider-Man. The only thing that's new with this is the fact that it has the new emblem on the front and the back, but otherwise, that I don't really know if there's anything that much different to what we got previously. And one of the things that sucks about it is that we don't even get a Peter Parker head sculpt with this figure here either. I think we at least needed that to make this figure a little bit more worth the release, but I just don't know if it compares that much to the final swingsuit Spider-Man. It's got a bit of different articulation in the head, which is nice, and it is on a bit of a different plastic where it's not as harder to move, because that original Spider-Man figure, there was some kind of plastic that they were using with it that made it tougher to move, and it felt like it was breaking in a lot of cases. I know a lot of people had their legs broken off of that Spider-Man, but as it is, like if you have that original figure, I don't know if this is worth getting. Yeah, as for a rating, I would probably stick with a 6 out of 10 for this figure. And yeah, that's about it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you excited for the Spider-Man Brand New Day movie? What are you most looking forward to out of it? Are you going to pick up this figure? And as every YouTuber begs you to do, please like and subscribe. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.